Hi guys, it's April and I honestly don't know who's gonna see this video because I don't know if it's gonna go up or not, but here I am in my garden. I'm going to attempt a garden tour because that is pretty much what I've been watching for the past 2 years, and I figured this would be a great way for me to document how my garden is growing. I do have an Instagram account, but it's hard to look back sometimes, and I was wondering if maybe this would make things just a little bit easier. Plus, you know, sharing my garden because I'm kind of proud of what's going on back here. It's not perfect, but it's mine. This is my second year growing. I am in southeastern Nebraska. It is July 22nd, 2022, and this is my garden. This is a quick overview of everything from the back door. I have 5 raised beds out there, and then the in-ground space, and then over here some more in-ground space, and then 2 metal raised beds, one of which I haven't done anything with yet, but I will. That is next year's project. And I want to put like a pollinator garden in there. But for now, I want to start with the raised beds out here. So this first bed is a 4x12. And this first like 4x4 section is all my indeterminate tomatoes, and as you can see, I have some tomatoes that are ripening. Yay! We're just in cherry tomatoes right now, but we're starting to get slicers and paste. Here we've got the cabbage that I haven't pulled out yet. I kind of let it just all go to flower because it was attracting some pollinators. I really just need to take it out because at this point it's just a mess. It's pretty much how I garden. Behind it, if you can see back there, are all my sweet peppers. So we've got a lot of bell peppers, we've got some banana peppers, and then way back there, I don't know if you can see it, I've got a variegated confetti pepper. Excited about that. And then we come back over here. I've got some Walla Walla onions that I need to pull out, and then just a tangled mess of tomato plants, because that is how I live my life. I do prune about once a week, but obviously with all these hot temperatures, things have gotten away from me just a bit. And buried in with all of these, I have a pepper plant, just hanging out there, doing its thing, along with a little calendula. And then over here we have a 4x6 bed. This first section, right about there, used to be the garlic. Garlic has been pulled. My butterkin is taking over, and the butterkin is a butternut pumpkin hybrid. And right here, we got a baby zucchini plant because my other zucchini plants are being decimated by bugs. Woo! And then, if we go up, we have all of the popcorn. So all of this, the concept is kind of the 3 sisters. So I do have some beans interspersed in there. Not that you can tell. The popcorn is everywhere, and the butterkin is just taking over. But these things happen. Next to it, I have another 4x6 with a bunch of flowering radish that I never took out. I was harvesting the pods and pickling the pods, but I think at this point it kind of needs pulled because over here you can see the cucumbers are just taking over. Haven't got any actual cucumbers yet, but with as much greenery that is there, I'm guessing there's something hiding, possibly. And then in the middle, we've got some peas that are struggling to hold on. I believe there's some beans in there too. Not that I've actually seen them, but they're there somewhere. Buried right there, I have an okra plant. He's has some damage. I've been battling the beetles. Don't know if I'm winning or not. Got one okra off of it so far. So that's something, right? And it looks like there are several that are forming. So I'll take it. And if we come over here, I've got some more variegated sweet peppers, which I believe are the, am I gonna get this right? Candy cane and mocha swirl peppers. And of course, a calendula. Behind it, I've got some more tomatoes. These ones are kind of struggling. As you can see, a good chunk of my tomato plants have kind of started looking like this. I mean, from the very beginning they looked like that. But, I mean, a lot of them are still producing. So I'm just seeing what happens. I have another 4x12 bed here. Once again, I've got my onions. These ones are candy. I've pulled several of them already, and that's what's left. Then a ton of tomato plants. And then here we've got all of the spicy peppers. Not that you can tell. So buried in there, we've got some jalapenos and some poblanos. Oh, hello, bugs. More jalapenos and some variegated types. That'll be easier to show you from the other side, so that's what I'll do. You can see some sunflowers kind of peeking along the back fence. Here we've got the last of my determinate tomatoes. These ones aren't doing too great. I've seen maybe 2 tomatoes out of the 3 plants that are in here. I think I need to do a hard prune on all of these. See what happens. But then I have a pepper plant who is just thriving. It is I believe, a Korean long pepper. I'm waiting for them to turn red so I can pick them and make Korean chili flakes for my kimchi. show you the sunnies as I come around here. I had planted this whole back fence, but that last part, I never really got anything to sprout. I have put more seed in there, so maybe. But here is some of the variegated. One of these plants is a fish pepper, but I can't remember the names of the rest of them. I'd have to look at my spreadsheet. And then if you come over here, we've got this purple variegated pepper, which is just the cutest thing ever. And next year, I'm not gonna bury it. It needs a place of honor somewhere. So I gotta figure that out. So this is the back side of this bed. Then over here, we've got a 4x4. I've got this volunteer potato plant that came up in the middle of my carrots. Not mad about it, just wasn't expecting it at all. This is a brand new bed this year. I had dumped the soil at the bottom of it from my old potato bag to help fill this up. And I guess there was a potato in there somewhere. But otherwise, the carrots are thriving, even though this guy took over. And then I got some red onions and some more tomato plants that I think are seeing some grasshopper damage. At first I thought it was maybe a hornworm, but I have come out here several times, haven't found anything. Maybe it was a hornworm and the birds ate it for me. I don't know. But there's no worm on it right now. But the tops of these have just been sheared. And then down here, I've got some of my favorite pepper plants, which are the jalapenos and the habanados. Making jalapeno poppers with these peppers, such a brilliant idea. You get that flavor of a jalapeno, but no heat. I haven't got any of the habanados yet, but it looks like we've got some growing, so I'm excited to try those. I can handle spice, but I can't handle super spice. So I really, really am excited about these guys. And if we carefully make our way this direction, I've got in these pots, I've got some strawberries, some weeds, and then this pepper plant with this nasturtium that doesn't seem to be doing too well, but the pepper plant is thriving. And then we've got this pumpkin right here, which is from a store-bought pumpkin I got 2 years ago for Halloween, and I saved the seeds and I planted last year and got some really good pumpkins, and so I planted the seeds again this year. And this is the one pumpkin plant that has actually done really, really well compared to a white variety that just got decimated. And then I will show you the candy pumpkins that I had to replant because they got taken out. And then it's just a zinnia who's thriving, living life. Okay, so these two ground cherries, I didn't plant. They came up from last year's plant. I had actually started several ground cherries, but had some issues with them and they died on me. But here we are with volunteers that I am super, super excited about. And over here we have some tomatillos that are just, they're hanging on. I'd originally planted 4. I thought 2 of them died. Third one got taken out by bugs. But one of the 2 that I thought had died started coming back. So we might actually get tomatillos. I've never been good at tomatillos, so that'll be a miracle. I have cowpeas growing up in there too because I didn't think the tomatillos were gonna make it, so I thought I'd use the space. But hey, it looks like we actually have a tomatillo growing, so that'll be a first for me. Cool. And over here we've got a peach tree. Haven't gotten any fruit off of it yet. Got some bug damage. Maybe those will ripen. I don't know. But here is that zucchini plant that I was telling you about. She is not looking the greatest. The one next to it seems to be doing all right. I have been treating, squishing, pulling. Looks like we're still getting flowers, so it might actually pull through. But this guy, we got some fruit possibilities that I'm keeping my eye on. I think, right here, that might be a artichoke that just randomly planted itself, or it could just be a thistleweed. We're gonna find out. Oh, hey, looky. This guy was not here yesterday. So that is one of the candy pumpkins that I had to replant. These are the 2 that I knew about, but the fact that player 3 has entered the game gives me hope that we might actually get some candy pumpkins. Then we've got some pots, which we have some bunching onions. We've got another purple variegated pepper, some strawberries, and then some honeyberry bushes. Planted these last year, got really tiny berries this year. Maybe they'll be established enough next year that I'll actually get some decent berries off of it. And then, once I get you centered, we've got some more bunching onions, some more strawberries. All the strawberries in these pots are leftover strawberries from the main bed I planted up. I don't know if these guys will make it through winter. I haven't thought about that process. But if these ones don't make it, they had a good production year this year. But I do have the main bed that I'm just going to keep cultivating from. That is the main bed. This is just, I didn't want to lose the plants that I bought. So let's throw them in what I have. This potato bag is empty, even though it looks like it's got a tomato growing out of it. I had some purple potatoes planted here, pulled them a couple weeks ago. That's why I'm kind of excited about my volunteer potato. Get 2 crops of potatoes. But these tomatoes. Oh, okay. These guys are a little bit of a jungle. They are a wild mess. Haven't actually seen any fruit on these ones like I have in the raised beds. I don't know if that's because of how they're planted in ground instead of in the really rich soil of raised beds or not. But this was my experiment for the year. I have some bush beans that are growing, and then on this one trellis over here I've got a pole bean, and then some more tomato plants, this tomato plant, and peas that I really need to pull. And then you saw this earlier, but this is the strawberry bed that I was talking about. This is the main bed. This is where I would like all the strawberries to be and where I would like the strawberries to keep reproducing. We'll see how that goes because they're already sending out runners everywhere. Now, this is actually a pine berry. I haven't actually seen any pine berries on it this year. I don't know if I have the right conditions where it's at. This is actually from last year. It had planted itself here, and I never moved it. So, just kind of letting it go a little wild. I will try to keep it a little tamed so it doesn't make it out to the yard, but for now it's, you know, hanging out with the gargoyles. This is peach tree number 2 that I think is doing a little better than the other one. It's definitely fuller, but it is sending out those shoots down there that I have to keep cutting off. This is a cucumber. That I think is the burpless. We'll see how it does, because I used to have cucumbers on the other side of the peach tree right there that died, and that's how I ended up with cucumbers in my raised beds, because I was making up for it. Then we've got a butternut squash that looks like she's thriving. I mean, she's kind of bushy and not sending out long tendrils, so I think she's doing okay. I had planted a Kajari melon from seeds I had saved last year. None of them came up. These are pink lemonade blueberry plants. I planted them, a couple months ago. Maybe a month ago. Yeah, about a month ago. And these are sunflowers that just came up because I had teddy bear sunflowers here last year. So these are all just volunteer plants. And it looks like we will be getting a sunflower soon. Or 2. Or 3. So I'm not going to show you the front garden. This is just a little bit of a sneak peek. It is more of a cottage garden up there. I wanted to pull the pollinators in. The idea is to start working on the rest of this yard to get more flowers in. So like I said, I wanted sunflowers all the way across the back fence. Thinking about putting sunflowers all the way across this white fence. Over here, I've kind of started a pollinator. I've got a lot of milkweed, butterfly weed. I've got some soba, some quinoa. I want to add in chamomile and dill next year. And I want this to eventually just be something that maintains itself, so it just keeps dropping seeds. I wanted something low maintenance that I'd be okay if it got trampled, because there are those utility boxes back there. And we are a developing neighborhood, so there are people quite often back here. Maybe I'll put in some stepping stones to each of the boxes at some point, but mowing around these boxes was just a nightmare, and then trying to keep the weeds back from between these two fences is just hard. So I'm trying to find a way to just help maintain that. You guys have already seen all these sunflowers, but it does look like some of these are going to be opening soon. This one's going to be a big boy. Back here, besides the weeds, these guys right here are kiwi plants that I planted last year from seed. I started at the beginning of last year inside. I didn't think they was gonna come back because my artichoke didn't come back. But these kiwis have come back, and it looks like we've got lots of interesting growth. I don't know if I'll ever get fruit, but it was an experiment I wanted to try. And then right along here, this is my zinnia bed. Last year it was definitely fuller, but I'm not mad about how things are going this year. Yes, my fountain needs a little bit of work. It is a solar powered one, and we don't have enough sun this early in the morning. And I'm working on maintaining the algae and all of that, but I've gotten several lilies out of it. And then, yeah, it looks like, ooh, I did not see this the other day. We have a queen lime. Oh, that's exciting. So yeah, it's just a cute little spot. I would love for it to be overgrown with zinnias. And that is the garden. So that is my garden with all of the neighborhood noises and everything. If you're seeing this, that means yay. I felt confident enough putting this up on the internet. Of course, feel free to find me over on Instagram. I usually post daily on what I'm harvesting and what I'm seeing happening in the garden. I do put up a weekly reel that does a quick walkthrough of the garden over there. Otherwise, I'm going to attempt to do this every week, probably every Friday at this point, since it's Friday already. So if you want to follow me on my gardening journey, subscribe down below, and I heard your beautiful faces.